Welcome to Time in History. I'm Professor Bill. Tonight, we open a file that has never truly been closed. For decades, governments denied it. Scientists questioned it. Witnesses swore they saw something in the sky. The question is not whether people believe in aliens. The question is, what does the evidence actually show? Let's open the file. In June 2021, a declassified U.S. intelligence report reviewed 144 military encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena between 2004 and 2021. Only one case was confidently explained. The remaining incidents lacked sufficient data for definitive conclusions. Some objects demonstrated unusual flight characteristics. Most were recorded by multiple sensors: visual, infrared, radar. The report did not confirm extraterrestrial origin, but it did confirm something else. These encounters are real, they are recurring, and in many cases, they remain unexplained. In June 2021, U.S. intelligence released a preliminary assessment of unidentified aerial phenomena. The report reviewed 144 military encounters recorded between 2004 and 2021. Only one case was confidently explained. The rest lacked sufficient data for definitive conclusions. Many incidents were captured by multiple sensor systems: radar, infrared, and pilot observation. The report did not confirm extraterrestrial origin, but it confirmed something else. These objects are real, they are recurring, and in dozens of cases, they remain unexplained. In November 2004, pilots from the USS Nimitz carrier strike group encountered an object later nicknamed the Tic Tac. Commander David Fravor described it as a smooth, white craft about 40 feet long, hovering without visible means of lift. It reacted to his approach, mirrored his movement, and then accelerated away at extraordinary speed. Radar operators had tracked the object descending from high altitude to near sea level in seconds. The encounter was logged, documented, and later investigated. No conventional explanation was officially confirmed. In July 1952, unidentified objects appeared on radar screens above Washington, D.C. Air traffic controllers and military radar operators independently confirmed the returns. Fighter jets were scrambled. Pilots reported lights maneuvering in restricted airspace. The Air Force later attributed the sightings to temperature inversions affecting radar. But the incident forced a rare public press conference. For several nights, something unexplained was tracked over the capital of the United States. In July 1952, unidentified objects appeared on radar screens above Washington, D.C. Air traffic controllers and military radar operators independently confirmed the returns. Fighter jets were scrambled. Pilots reported lights maneuvering in restricted airspace. The Air Force later attributed the sightings to temperature inversions affecting radar. But the incident forced a rare public press conference. For several nights, something unexplained was tracked over the capital of the United States. On July 8, 1947, the Roswell Daily Record published a headline stating that the Army had captured a flying disc. The statement originated from the Roswell Army Airfield. Within 24 hours, the story was reversed. Officials now claimed it was a weather balloon. Decades later, it was linked to a classified surveillance effort known as Project Mogul. No confirmed alien materials were ever presented, but the abrupt shift in explanation created a narrative that has endured for generations. On August 15, 1977, a radio telescope known as Big Ear detected a strong narrowband signal from deep space. It lasted 72 seconds. Astronomer Jerry Amon circled the data in red ink and wrote a single word beside it: "Wow." The signal matched what scientists would expect from an artificial transmission, yet it never repeated. No satellite was identified as the source. No natural explanation was conclusively proven. It was not confirmation of alien contact. But it remains one of the most intriguing anomalies ever recorded in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. On March 13, 1997, thousands of residents in Arizona reported seeing a massive V-shaped formation of lights moving silently across the night sky. Witnesses included civilians, police officers, and even the state governor. Some described a solid structure blocking out the stars. The military later stated the lights were flares dropped during training exercises. Many accepted the explanation. Others did not. No physical craft was recovered. But the scale of the sighting, witnessed by thousands, turned a local event into a national debate. Between 1952 and 1969, the United States Air Force conducted an official investigation into UFO sightings known as Project Blue Book. Over 12,000 cases were reviewed. Most were attributed to misidentified aircraft, weather balloons, astronomical phenomena, or hoaxes. However, 701 incidents remained officially unexplained at the time the project was closed. The final conclusion stated there was no evidence of extraterrestrial vehicles. Yet hundreds of unresolved reports were left in the archives. Between 1989 and 1990, hundreds of witnesses in Belgium reported large, triangular objects moving silently through the sky. Radar confirmations were reported by the Belgian Air Force. F-16 jets attempted interception, but failed to establish visual contact consistent with radar data. One widely circulated photograph later turned out to be a hoax, admitted by its creator years later. Yet not all radar data was dismissed. The Belgian wave remains a mixture of documented observation and confirmed deception, a reminder that not every case is equal. For decades, scientists at the SETI Institute have scanned the sky for artificial signals. Powerful arrays of radio telescopes listen across frequencies where an advanced civilization might transmit. Billions of stars have been surveyed. No confirmed extraterrestrial broadcast has ever been detected. The silence grows louder with each passing year. If advanced civilizations exist, they are not calling out in ways we can detect. Or they are not there at all. On May 11, 1950, Paul Trent photographed a metallic disc hovering above his farm near McMinnville, Oregon. Two images were captured before the object disappeared. The negatives were examined repeatedly over the decades. No clear evidence of tampering was ever conclusively proven. Skeptics proposed suspended models. Supporters argued the lighting and shadow analysis did not match simple hoaxes. The photographs remain among the most debated UFO images ever taken, not because they prove anything, but because they refuse to disappear from serious discussion. On September 4, 1971, a government mapping aircraft flying over Lake Cote in Costa Rica captured a strange metallic object in one frame of a routine aerial survey. The photograph was taken automatically by a high-resolution camera used for cartography. No one aboard reported seeing the object at the time. The image was discovered later during analysis. Experts examined the negative and found no evidence of double exposure or manipulation. Decades later, the object in that frame remains unidentified. In 1990, a photograph taken in Petit-Rachin, Belgium, appeared to show a large triangular craft with three bright lights at its corners. The image became one of the most famous UFO photographs in Europe. Years later, the photographer admitted it was a hoax created with a small model. The confession damaged public trust. But it did not erase radar confirmations and hundreds of independent reports during the Belgian wave. One fake image does not automatically invalidate every other observation. In September 1976, residents of Tehran reported a bright object hovering in the night sky. The Iranian Air Force dispatched F-4 Phantom jets to intercept. Pilots later reported that their instrument panels malfunctioned as they approached the object. When they retreated, systems returned to normal. The incident was documented in U.S. intelligence summaries. No wreckage was found. No confirmed explanation satisfied every detail. But trained military pilots filed the report. In recent years, Navy pilots have spoken publicly about encounters that defy easy explanation. These are not anonymous internet witnesses. They are trained officers accustomed to identifying aircraft under combat conditions. They describe objects without wings, without exhaust, capable of sudden acceleration beyond conventional performance limits. They do not claim extraterrestrials. They simply state what they saw. And when consistent testimonies align with sensor data, the story becomes harder to dismiss. In November 2014, a Chilean Navy helicopter recorded an unidentified object during a routine patrol. The crew tracked it for nearly 10 minutes using infrared cameras. The object appeared to release a plume of material before disappearing into cloud cover. Chile's official aviation authority investigated the footage for 2 years. Meteorological data, flight records, and aircraft databases were reviewed. The final conclusion stated that the object could not be identified. No confirmed aircraft matched its behavior. The video remains officially unexplained. In 2004, the Mexican Air Force released infrared footage recorded by a military surveillance aircraft. The crew tracked multiple luminous objects moving at high altitude. The lights did not appear on visual cameras, but were visible in infrared. Radar operators reported unusual readings during the encounter. The footage was broadcast publicly by the Mexican government. No conventional aircraft were confirmed in the area. The case was never officially attributed to extraterrestrials. But it also was never conclusively resolved. On November 17, 1986, the crew of Japan Airlines, Flight 1628, reported a large object pacing their Boeing 747 cargo aircraft over Alaska. Captain Kenju Terauchi described it as significantly larger than their plane. Radar data from ground stations reportedly detected unusual returns during the encounter. The aircraft changed course. The object remained visible for nearly 50 minutes before disappearing. The Federal Aviation Administration later suggested possible misidentification of celestial bodies. The captain maintained his account for years. At this point, one alternative explanation must be considered. What if these objects are not extraterrestrial at all? What if they represent classified human technology, advanced drones, hypersonic prototypes, experimental propulsion systems? Governments have historically tested secret aircraft decades before public disclosure. But that explanation raises its own question. If such technology exists, why are military pilots often unaware of it? Why are allied nations equally confused? If it is human technology, it is remarkably compartmentalized. And if it is not, then we return to the original question. One possible answer to the Fermi paradox is deeply unsettling. It is known as the Great Filter. The idea suggests that somewhere between lifeless matter and galaxy-spanning civilization, there is a barrier so destructive that almost no species survives it. Perhaps life itself is rare, perhaps intelligence is unstable, or perhaps advanced civilizations inevitably destroy themselves before mastering interstellar travel. If the Great Filter lies behind us, we are extraordinarily lucky. If it lies ahead of us, the silence of the cosmos may not be empty. It may be a warning. In just over a century, humanity has developed nuclear weapons, engineered viruses, and artificial intelligence systems capable of autonomous decision-making. Our technological growth has outpaced our political maturity. If another civilization followed a similar path, the window between technological breakthrough and catastrophic failure might be brief. The galaxy is billions of years old. Even a few thousand years of instability could erase a civilization completely. We may not see alien empires because they never survive long enough to leave permanent marks. Another possibility is less dramatic but more probable. Life may exist, but only in simple forms. Microbial organisms beneath the ice of Europa, bacteria in the subsurface oceans of Enceladus, fossilized remnants in Martian rock. Intelligent life may be the rare exception, not the rule. The universe might be full of biology, but empty of civilizations capable of building radio transmitters or spacecraft. In that scenario, we are not alone. We are simply early and unusually complex. There is also a humbling possibility. Advanced life may be so different from us that we fail to recognize it. We search for radio waves because that is what we use. We look for metallic structures because that is what we build. But a civilization millions of years older than ours might communicate in ways we cannot detect, or inhabit environments we barely understand. Our definition of life may be too narrow. The silence we perceive could be a limitation of our own imagination. For decades, we have listened. Powerful telescopes sweep the sky each night. Satellites scan distant stars for signs of atmospheric imbalance that might indicate life. Probes search neighboring worlds for microbial traces. And still, no confirmed signal, no verified structure, no direct contact. The deeper we look, the more profound the silence appears. It is no longer a simple absence of evidence. It has become a central mystery of modern science. Every night, humanity turns its instruments toward the sky. We scan, measure, calculate, and wait. The stars above us are not decorations. They are distant suns, many older than our own. Around them orbit worlds that have existed for billions of years before Earth formed. Entire civilizations could have risen and fallen before our planet cooled. And yet, when we listen carefully enough, we hear only background radiation and the quiet hum of physics. We are a technological species staring into a cosmic ocean, searching for a signal that may never come. Across decades and continents, people have looked up and seen something they could not explain. Pilots, soldiers, farmers, police officers. Some accounts were mistakes. Some were hoaxes. Some were atmospheric phenomena misunderstood in the moment. But not all of them fit neatly into those categories. When trained observers describe objects that move without sound, without visible propulsion, without predictable flight patterns, the reports cannot simply be laughed away. They remain on record, waiting for better answers. If intelligent life exists elsewhere, it may not resemble us in any recognizable way. It may not use radio. It may not travel in metallic craft. It may not even perceive reality as we do. We often imagine visitors in ships because that is how we would travel. But a civilization millions of years more advanced might not need physical exploration at all. The absence of visible visitors does not automatically mean absence of intelligence. It may simply mean we are asking the wrong questions. But there is another possibility, one far more profound. What if we truly are alone? Not temporarily, not locally, but fundamentally. In a universe billions of light years wide, we may be the only self-aware species capable of asking these questions. Every piece of art, every language, every memory, every act of kindness or cruelty, confined to a single, fragile planet. If that is true, then the responsibility placed upon us is immense. The silence would not be emptiness. It would be uniqueness. After reviewing photographs, radar logs, pilot testimonies, and decades of investigation, one conclusion remains clear. There is no verified proof that extraterrestrials have visited Earth. But there is also no scientific basis to assume we are alone. Between certainty and speculation lies a vast field of unanswered questions. The sky is still being watched. The instruments are still listening. And somewhere, beyond our current understanding, the answer may already exist. Until then, the file remains open.